Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of the human brain with 10 powerful psychological tricks that can significantly boost your memory. You know, we often think of memory like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. But what if I told you there are specific techniques, almost like cheat codes, that can unlock your brain's full potential? We're talking about going beyond simple memorization and tapping into the power of visualization, association, and even spatial reasoning. I personally use these techniques to enhance my own memory, and trust me, the results are out of this world. Let's kick things off with a technique as powerful as a rocket launch visualization. Our brains are wired to remember images far better than abstract concepts. So to remember details more vividly, try creating mental images that connect new information with familiar objects or scenes. Think of it like this. Imagine you need to remember to buy groceries, milk, eggs, bread, and apples. Instead of simply repeating the list, picture a giant loaf of bread wearing a milk carton hat, balancing a carton of eggs and juggling apples. Absurd? Maybe. Effective? Absolutely. The more bizarre and emotionally charged your image, the more memorable it becomes. This technique is particularly useful for remembering names. When you meet someone new, try to associate their name with a vivid image. For instance, if you meet someone named Sarah who loves gardening, you might picture her surrounded by vibrant sunflowers. Create those wacky, out-of-this-world images and watch as your memory blasts off. Alright, space cadets, let's talk about chunking, a technique as fundamental as the laws of physics. Just as the universe is made up of galaxies, stars, and planets, information is more manageable when broken down into smaller, meaningful groups or chunks. Think of it like building a spaceship. You wouldn't try to assemble the entire thing at once, would you? You'd break it down into smaller, more manageable components. The same principle applies to memorizing information. Instead of trying to cram everything into your brain at once, break it down into smaller, digestible chunks. For instance, when memorizing a long number like 2024885492, group it as 202-488-5492. By chunking information, we're essentially compressing it, making it easier for our brains to process and store. So the next time you're faced with a mountain of information, remember the power of chunking. Now let's explore a technique as ancient and awe-inspiring as the Constellation's the Memory Palace method. This method, also known as the method of Loci, has been used by memory champions for centuries. Imagine constructing a magnificent mental palace, a sprawling structure filled with rooms, corridors, and secret passages. Each room represents a specific piece of information you're trying to remember. Let's say you're trying to memorize a speech. You might assign the opening remarks to the grand foyer, the key points to different rooms, and the conclusion to the rooftop observatory. As you mentally walk through your palace, you'll encounter these vivid images and associations, triggering the information stored within. This technique leverages our innate spatial memory, which is why we can often navigate familiar environments even after years of absence. By associating information with specific locations, we're tapping into this powerful cognitive ability. Start building your memory palace today and be amazed at how much information you can store and retrieve. Now, let's talk about a concept as fundamental to learning as gravity is to the universe: repetition. Just as planets orbit the sun, repeatedly encountering information strengthens the neural pathways in our brains, making it more likely to stick. But here's the cosmic twist: spaced repetition. This technique involves reviewing information at increasing intervals, which has been scientifically proven to be far more effective than cramming. Think of it like launching a probe into space. You wouldn't just fire it off and hope for the best, would you? You'd carefully calculate its trajectory, making course corrections along the way. Similarly, with spaced repetition, you're strategically timing your review sessions to coincide with when your brain is most likely to forget the information. Start by reviewing new information a few hours after learning it, then the next day, and then in increasingly longer intervals. This spaced-out approach ensures that the information becomes deeply embedded in your long-term memory. So, ditch the frantic all-nighter cramming sessions and embrace the power of spaced repetition. Let's talk about a technique as clever and creative as a rocket scientist designing a spacecraft: mnemonic devices. These memory aids are like tools that help us organize and retrieve information more efficiently. One common mnemonic device is the acronym, where we take the first letter of each word in a list and form a new word or phrase. Remember trying to memorize the order of planets in our solar system? "My very eager mother just served us noodles" instantly comes to mind. Another effective mnemonic device is rhyming. Creating rhymes or jingles can make information stickier, just like a catchy tune gets stuck in your head. The key to mnemonic devices is to make them personally relevant and engaging. The more creative and humorous, the better. Don't be afraid to tap into your imagination and come up with your own unique mnemonic devices. So, the next time you're facing a challenging list or concept, embrace the power of mnemonic devices. Fellow space travelers, we all know that sleep is essential for recharging our batteries, but did you know it's also crucial for memory consolidation? During sleep, our brains work tirelessly processing and storing the information we've encountered throughout the day. Without adequate sleep, our brains can't function at their best. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night to allow your brain ample time for memory consolidation. This means creating a conducive sleep environment, dark, quiet, and cool, and avoiding caffeine and alcohol before bed. So, prioritize sleep as if your memory depends on it, because it does. Alright, space explorers, let's talk about active learning, a technique as engaging and rewarding as a mission to Mars. It's not enough to passively absorb information, we need to actively engage with it to truly make it ours. Think of it like this. Imagine you're training to be an astronaut. You wouldn't just read manuals and watch videos, would you? You'd be in simulators, conducting experiments, and putting your knowledge to the test. The same principle applies to learning anything new. Instead of just reading or listening, find ways to actively engage with the material. Teach what you've learned to someone else, explain it in your own words, or find real-life applications for the concepts. This active engagement forces your brain to retrieve and organize information, strengthening the neural connections and making it more likely to stick. So, ditch the passive learning habits and embrace the power of active engagement. Space cadets, prepare for liftoff into the realm of mindfulness meditation. This ancient practice, often associated with relaxation and stress reduction, also offers surprising benefits for memory enhancement. Think of your mind as a satellite dish, constantly bombarded with signals from the outside world. Mindfulness meditation is like adjusting that dish, fine-tuning your focus and clarity amidst the noise. By practicing mindfulness, paying attention to the present moment without judgment, we train our brains to become more aware and less reactive. This enhanced focus and attention directly translate to improved memory function. Studies have shown that regular mindfulness meditation can increase gray matter in the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for learning and memory. So carve out a few minutes each day to engage in mindful meditation. Focus on your breath, observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment, and watch as your mind becomes a tranquil yet powerful instrument for learning and remembering. Fellow space enthusiasts, let's talk about organization. A principle as crucial to memory as a well-planned mission is to space exploration. Just as a spacecraft relies on intricate systems and checklists, our brains thrive when information is structured and accessible. Think of your brain as a vast library, filled with countless books of knowledge. Without a proper cataloging system, retrieving specific information would be an impossible task. That's where organization comes in. By using tools like to-do lists, calendars, and notes, we're essentially creating a mental filing system for our brains. This offloads the cognitive burden of trying to remember everything, freeing up mental space for more critical tasks. When you write things down, you're not just outsourcing the memory, you're also actively engaging with the information, making it more likely to stick. So, embrace the power of organization. Keep your notes tidy, your calendar up to date, and your to-do list manageable. Space explorers, we all know that maintaining a healthy lifestyle is essential for our physical well-being, but did you know it's also crucial for our cognitive health, including memory? Just like a rocket needs high-grade fuel to soar through space, our brains require a nutrient-rich diet to function optimally. Incorporate brain-boosting foods like fatty fish, blueberries, nuts, and seeds into your diet. These are like rocket fuel for your neurons. Staying hydrated is equally important. Our brains are about 80% water, and even mild dehydration can impair cognitive function, including memory. And let's not forget about exercise. Regular physical activity not only benefits our bodies but also boosts blood flow to the brain, promoting the growth of new brain cells and enhancing memory function. So, fuel your body and mind with nutritious foods, stay hydrated, and make exercise a regular part of your routine. Your brain will thank you for it. It's like sending your brain to astronaut training, making it stronger, sharper, and more resilient. So there you have it, fellow space travelers, 10 powerful psychological tricks to unlock your brain's full potential and skyrocket your memory to new heights. Remember, like any skill, improving your memory takes time and effort, but the rewards are astronomical. By incorporating these techniques into your daily life, you'll not only enhance your ability to learn and retain information, but also sharpen your cognitive skills overall. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow space explorers, and subscribe for more brain-boosting content. Until next time, keep those minds curious and keep reaching for the stars.